Dear viewers, welcome to interview with Stephen Ahwen. On today's show, looking at apartheid against gay child education. Undoubtedly, a bunch of gays and women globally, especially in Afghanistan and some countries in Africa, are being denied the right to education. United Nations has perceived this as a gross violation of women's rights. Is there cultural or religious justification for that? To help speak on that, I am joined by Faith Agene. She is a lover of humanity and promoter of gay child. Faith Agene, welcome to interview with Stephen Ahwen. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you, Mr. Stephen Awe. Good afternoon. Yes, for Nigeria it's afternoon. So good afternoon, the viewers and all those who are listening to the show. Like he rightly said, my name is Agene Faith, and I'm a girl child advocate. What that means is I advocate for the girl child, anything that has to do with young girls, the girl child education, girls in tech, period, reduction of period poverty, whatever it takes to make the girl realize who she is and become who she's supposed to be, I advocate that. Thank you,
Okay.
Stephen, for having me on the
All
show.
right. Many thanks for that introduction. Let's get started. Millions of girls around the world are shut out of education because of culture and discrimination. They are treated as, second class, abused, exploited, and simply disregarded in many countries. Can you unveil the rationale instigating such inhumane and degrading treatment?
Okay. Before I go ahead on that, I would like to start by defining who a girl child is. A girl child is a female by birth, that's biologically a female child within the age bracket of 0 to 18. We call them girl child. And now, like you rightly said, the girl child has faced so many discrimination in terms of education in several parts of the world, especially in continent Africa and in some other developing countries. For me, from the research I've carried out and from my understanding, one of the major reasons for all of this discrimination is the culture and the traditional belief of these people. You see, there's always been this belief that the girl ends in the kitchen. And so for some family, they find it difficult. Why do I have to train somebody that will end in the kitchen? And so because of those cultural belief systems, I was sharing with a friend last week. I watched a movie where a man refused to train his younger sister. He said he would instead use that money to train his fiance and the lady he loves, his girlfriend. Why? Because his younger sister will end up getting married to somebody else. And when she gets married to somebody else, the person is going to reap the benefit of the money he spent in training his sister. So he refused her going to school. So there's this notion that people have of I'm investing. I'm doing an investment. So why do I invest in a place where I cannot gain? I don't know if you get
Yeah,
me.
I'm with you.
Where I cannot gain from. If I'm not gaining from it, why am I investing into it? And that's where the issue comes in. I'm not gaining from it, but then why am I investing into it? So that cultural belief that she will leave her family, her name will change, and because her name will change, she will no longer be bearing the family's name. Make some family culturally not wanting to invest in the girl child. You must have heard of this belief system that until you give birth to a male child, you've not given birth.
Yes, very true.
And so some family will go the extra mile to do whatever it takes to have a male child.
Okay, now
So those
I
are some of
wanted,
the belief
yes,
systems.
I want us to now to talk about that marriage. In fact, I want us to dwell on early marriage. Too often marriage is seen as higher priority than education. Most families prefer to give their daughters a marriage during their formative years than send them what to school, and this has become a formidable barrier. Now, just yesterday on Arise TV, I watched a video of 11 years girl who was given in marriage to a man of 60 years. Is that not outrageous and condemnable? What do you make of that?
That's child abuse because she's not yet an adult. She can't make choices. She can't make decisions. You see, part of what causes most of these things is poverty. And yeah, I'll use the word poverty. And I'm trying to look for this other word. It's not coming, but let me use the word poverty first. These parents don't have the means to train these children. And so when they find a big man in quotes that can sometimes these people promise the parents that they will sponsor the children in education. So sometimes you can't even blame the parents. So when they feel, okay, I don't have the means to sponsor this child, or when they feel we can't even feed these children, we have plenty of children in the house, when they feel they don't have the money, the standard of living of this parent is poor. Cover off. They definitely want to look for means of survival. And it's so unfortunate that some families see that. This is part of Nigeria where I've lived in, where they give birth to as many. You can have one man having about 40, 30 children, and he doesn't have a good source of income. For such a man, if he finds an allergy or he finds a big man that wants one of his daughters, to him is a means of income. So poverty is one of the causes of that.
Okay, now
When
how?
they feel when there's
All right, go on, go on.
when there are no source of income, people will tend to trade their children. And that's why we start talking about issues of human trafficking to coming in. So you see, these things are linked to each other.
So, Faye, how do you justify the preference of boys' education over girls by parents? Because it seems boys are favored when investing in education. The girls stay at home to bear the main burden of housework, or sometimes you see them hawking sachet water, groundnut, banana in the street in order to make ends meet. Is that preference justifiable?
Okay. There's no justification for it because every child is a human. And that's why when you look at the International Women's Day theme for this year, it's about equality, right? We are all equal. We are humans. It's just the gender difference, which is as a result of your biological makeup. We are all human. Do you get it? So there's no justification for that. A girl child can comprehend just as much as a girl child, and just as much as a boy can comprehend. So there actually is no justification for choosing one gender above another in terms of education or in sponsoring the child's education.
Okay, now let's talk about poor sanitation. Menstrual cycle. Now, many girls, particularly adolescents who are menstruating, don't go to school because of lack of privacy, unavailability of sanitary disposal facilities, and water shortages. Is the inability of schools to meet the safety, hygiene, or sanitation needs of girls hypocritical, deliberate, or circumstantial?
I love the options you gave for critical, deliberate, or circumstantial. I think I'll go with the circumstantial.
Why?
Most of those, yeah, I'll go with circumstantial. Like I said earlier on, the standard of living currently in the country, it's not something to write home about in Nigeria. Sorry to say, but and so most of the schools they are not even up to standard for the rights, in terms of even the quality education. And so they'll tell you that they are trying to manage the resources they have. It's the responsibility of every school to ensure that adequate health facilities are put in place. And this is where this is the point where I'll point fingers at the health boards of each state. You have the responsibility of monitoring the schools to ensure that each school, each government school, has the right health facilities, the latrine or the toilet in these schools, the conveniences are adequate of proper standard. Let me use the word proper standard. And when you come about the menstrual health of children, you know, permit me to say, it's not the responsibility of the school to provide the sanitary materials for the children. Their parents and their guardians have that responsibility. And so when the standard of living of these people is low, you don't you don't expect them to be able to provide those basic amenities. You hear of crazy stories of girls using leaves. They use different kinds of things that affect their health system, their reproductive health. So it's the responsibility of the parent or the guardian to ensure that their children have adequate and have access to good sanitary products in the course of menstruation.
Okay. Now,
So you see, the problem we have now, it's linked. One thing causes another. You get, and so when the matter is not treated from the roots, sorry, I am a finance person, and I tend mostly to speak from the point of the resources available in the country because it tends to it's like what is in the middle that turns and spins every other problem. When these families don't have a good standard of living, they can't even feed. How do you expect them to even think about a girl that is menstruating? So it now boils down to stakeholders, government, to provide access to free sanitary products for these young girls while they menstruate, and then concerned individuals. I and some friends have carried out several menstrual campaigns, and I still intend to carry out more this year together with another project to sensitize these children and to also try to see how we can come in by providing where we can.
okay. Now, Faith, don't you think that women themselves are promoters of apartheid or discrimination against gay child education because it seems to be, a colossal or, huge lack of female teachers in schools in so many work countries, and that phase are to provide friendly environment for the gay child. It seems to be a daunting experience for them because girls feel at ease or seem to be at ease in the presence of more female teachers. What can be done to stem that hurricane coming from the female folks?
I think to a great extent I got your question. Well, for for that, what I would say is this: there has been improvement in level of women doing career or women in various fields, in terms of career and the rest. But like we said, the level of unemployment in the country is quite an issue itself. So there are a lot and a lot of these young ladies that want to work but can't have access to good jobs. Each year, our university system keep bringing out graduates, pouring out graduates to no opportunities. And so we'll not really say that there are no young people that want to serve as role models to other young people. There are a lot, but they are not empowered too. Do you get? They are not empowered too. So, and I also want to use this as a way of admonishing other young ladies out there. You don't really have to wait for the government. Just try your hands on something. Get that, pick a business idea. It's just get your hands doing something. Try to get yourself economically empowered. And you'll be surprised how you can just grow from there. A lot of young girls are looking up to you. So yours does not have to mean picking a white collar job. You can just start something that you love and you find how it will grow so fast. And then you can even inspire others.
What are the economic and political adverse effects the exclusion of girls from school or apartheid against gay child education can have on the society, and what solution do you recommend?
Okay? There's a saying that says when you train a girl, you train a nation. Solution I can recommend is this. There's a need for proper sensitization. People need to know that when you train a woman, you're training her for your family, you're training her for yourself. You're not training her to leave your house and go to somebody's house. And sometimes people see women as properties. Yeah, somebody will come and buy her. We have that traditional belief as Africans, but that's not what it is. You're not training a woman for her to be bought as a property. You're training her to become something great for the future. So my advice would be, I think we need to do a lot of sensitization. There are very few women in politics. I'm not a political person. I don't get into politics.
Why not?
I am
Why not? Why not? Why not dabble in politics?
if opportunity presents itself, why not? But it's not like a vision I have. I can go by appointment or something, but not like it's a vision I have. Yeah, I'm a humanitarian, and my vision is always to see how young girls get better, how they become better versions of themselves. That's my vision. So,
Of
sensitization of our people is very important. There's this belief that when you are a lady into politics, you're defiant, you're trying to be rude or stubborn. There's this belief that you'll not be able to have a good home. You know, when people see ladies wanting to become who God wants them to be, they feel you'll be very you will not be submissive. It's not always true.
Unfortunately, Faith, again, we have to leave it there. I must say thank you for being on interview with Stephen Ahwin.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. So please, every girl out there deserves access to education. They deserve access to quality sanitary products. They deserve access to become who they want to be. They deserve access to your mentorship and your protection as a viewer. Thank you very much.
Well, once again, Faith, thank you for joining me on interview with Stephen Ahwin. And to the viewers, I say many thanks indeed for the pleasure of your company. In case you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I advise or encourage you to do so. From me to you, bye